Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into XRP, and I've got some exciting updates to share with you. Let's start by checking out the one-day chart. Right now we're sitting pretty at $2.55. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, didn't we just get that rate cut today? You're absolutely right. Even with the Fed's rate cut, XRP took a little dip along with the rest of the market. And here's the thing, a lot of folks were saying this rate cut was already baked into the price. Others were calling it a classic sell the news event. Well, guess what? It looks like they were spot on with that prediction. But here's what I love about XRP right now. It's holding up like a champion. We're literally only down by 10 cents. And let me tell you something. Have you noticed how quickly XRP bounces back from these dips? 10 cents used to feel massive back in the bear market days, but now it's nothing. I'm expecting XRP to bounce back strong with the rest of the market, especially if that crucial meeting between President Trump and President Xi goes well today. That trade deal between the US and China, yeah, that could be the catalyst that gets this whole market moving again. Now, let's talk Bitcoin for a second. It's back down to $110,000, and I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments saying, that's it, the run is over. But hold up, I've been reading some really interesting analyst reports that suggest Bitcoin could break its all-time high before the year ends. And honestly, I completely agree with that assessment. I think Bitcoin has one more massive push left in it before we see that major correction. My timeline? I believe this is all going to wrap up by the end of 2025. Now, I know there are plenty of people out there saying the 4-year cycle is dead, and Bitcoin's going to keep running into the middle of next year. But my gut tells me we'll see this cycle complete by late 2025. One thing I'm absolutely certain about, though, we haven't seen the top yet for Bitcoin. So what happened today? The Fed lowered rates by 25 basis points. But here's the kicker. Powell hinted that a December rate cut isn't guaranteed. And boom, Bitcoin slides right back to $110,000. But you know what I'm really excited about? The day when utility starts driving XRP's price instead of just following Bitcoin's every move. Once we get real utility behind XRP, and I mean substantial, game-changing utility, we're going to decouple from Bitcoin completely. Can you imagine how different XRP's performance will look when it's not just copying Bitcoin's movements? I think the entire market landscape is going to transform. But here's the thing. We need clear regulations first. Once those regulations are in place, that's when we'll see true institutional adoption. Not just any adoption. I'm talking major, game-changing institutional money flowing in. And that's exactly when utility will start kicking in for these utility-driven cryptocurrencies like XRP. Now, let's get to some breaking Ripple news that's got everyone talking. There's a new report out that reveals the XRP ETF launch timeline. And folks, this is huge. According to this report, 7 US spot XRP ETF filings are currently under review by the SEC. The agency is expected to make their decisions between October 18th and November 14th. Following their September approval of those new generic listing standards for spot crypto ETFs. Get this, market data platform Polymarket is now showing a greater than 99% probability that the SEC will approve a spot XRP ETF by the end of 2025. That level of confidence? That tells us institutional players are expecting XRP to follow in the footsteps of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana in joining the US ETF market. Now, I've been seeing a ton of speculation about this. People keep saying these ETFs are going live this week, next week. But here's my take. I don't think they're going live until the government reopens. I still believe we need Atkins to sign off on these XRP spot ETFs. Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely going to get approved. That's inevitable at this point. It's just a matter of timing. I keep seeing comments about how they're holding off until after Ripple swell, but honestly, I don't think Ripple swell has anything to do with the spot XRP ETF approvals. These are separate processes. Here's something interesting. XRP is ranked third on the ETF filing list, and there's definitely a mega XRP bounce loading up. Since 2024, we've seen 20 ETF filings for XRP alone.
Listen, when those ETFs go live, you better make sure you're holding this cryptocurrency, because XRP is absolutely going to break out in a major way. I'm predicting XRP will easily become a $1 billion ETF in its first few months of trading. That's the kind of institutional demand we're looking at here, and that's exactly why I remain so bullish on XRP's long-term prospects. Now, here's something that's got me really excited. Matt Hogan from Bitwise just made a bold prediction. He's saying an XRP exchange-traded fund will easily hit $1 billion in assets. And get this, while crypto insiders might be bearish, that's not what really matters here. It's the XRP believers who are going to drive flows way beyond everyone's expectations. I actually think these XRP ETFs are going to absolutely crush Jamie Dimon's expectations. He predicted $6 to $8 billion flowing into XRP ETFs. But honestly, I think he's being conservative. I believe we're going to see even more money pouring in because people are seriously underestimating the demand for XRP. And speaking of demand, check this out. XRP reserves on Binance just dropped to 2.74 billion XRP as smart money quietly accumulates. We're already seeing XRP disappearing off exchanges, and I keep asking myself, what's going to happen when FOMO really kicks in, when everyone's scrambling to buy XRP? I genuinely think we could see scarcity during this cycle. That's not something I say lightly. The whales are definitely telling us something. Over $560 million in XRP was accumulated by large holders just this week, according to Sentiment. And you know what? Smart money always knows something. When whales continue loading up on a cryptocurrency like this, they usually have that gut feeling that something big is about to happen, that a major breakout is right around the corner. Think about this perfect storm we're setting up. Whales are accumulating, XRP is disappearing off exchanges, and we're right on the verge of retail FOMO at the same time. The second XRP breaks out, and I mean really breaks out, the FOMO is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. People are going to sit back and say, I can't believe all the XRP is gone from the exchanges. That scenario couldn't really happen before, but this time around, it's totally possible. You couple that with the incoming ETFs, add the possibility of clear regulations getting put in place, which I believe will drive massive institutional adoption, and you've got yourself a perfect storm for XRP. Now, I've got to address something that happened recently. Solana just took a major shot at Ripple, and the XRP army had some thoughts about it. So there's this whole situation with Western Union, and someone named Michael said, this company will be bankrupt before it moves $1 billion on Solana. You keep focusing on Blockbuster, I'll focus on Netflix. I've got to say, that was pretty clever. And here's the thing, it's actually true when you think about it. Western Union is essentially a remittance platform, and that's where they make all their money. But their fees? Absolutely outrageous. Their wait times? Even worse. I've been seeing people say that Solana actually paid Western Union to use their blockchain. Now, I can't confirm that one way or another, but here's how I look at it. If you're holding XRP, why would you even care about Western Union? XRP has been mentioned by the IMF, the World Bank, and almost every single central bank in the world. And you're worried about Western Union creating a stablecoin on Solana? A network that's frequently down, by the way? Just imagine this scenario. Remittances are being sent all around the world, and suddenly network congestion hits and Solana goes down. Can you imagine how frustrated people are going to be? Especially when they're already paying high fees and dealing with long wait times to begin with. This isn't the future, folks. This is the past. This is exactly what Ripple set out to fix a long time ago. Here's another interesting point that really got my attention. Someone named Smoke pointed out that Solana's price can be engineered artificially, while XRP's price depends on organic demand and utility.
Many people overlook how easily certain price surges can be manufactured. Perfect example? In January 2025, Solana's price jumped 63% when Trump-themed tokens launched on its network. That's not organic growth. That's manufactured hype. But here's the crucial difference. That Solana surge wasn't based on real growth at all. Those Trump tokens required people to purchase Solana, which created artificial demand and pushed the price up temporarily. It's classic market manipulation disguised as organic growth. XRP, on the other hand, is built on genuine organic demand and real utility. Here's something that blows my mind every time I think about it. XRP's supply is permanently capped at 100 billion units. That means no new tokens can ever be created to dilute its value. Ever. XRP's strength comes from adoption, not speculation. It secures the Ripple network and serves as a bridge currency for international payments. As Ripple's protocol continues to expand globally, the need for XRP grows naturally alongside it. That's the fundamental difference between engineered hype and lasting value. When investors actually take the time to study what drives XRP's demand, the picture becomes crystal clear. And of course, it's all documented as well. You know what cracks me up? Everyone's always saying, this coin is better than XRP, or this is the XRP killer. But what they don't realize is that Ripple has the patents. Ripple also has the rails. They built the infrastructure and put everything in place over the last decade. There's no replacing that foundation unless you want to start building from scratch right now and wait until 2035 to get all the rails in place that are actually needed. That's exactly why XRP is and always will be the future. The Internet of Value is coming, and listen closely. I want you to listen to what Giancarlo has to say about this.
Crypto is more than just a funky new asset class. Crypto is really a whole new architecture of finance. It's an internet-based architecture of finance. You know, the earlier wave of the internet, the one we're all familiar with, the Internet of Information, was all about computers talking to each other. Well, now we're on the verge of a new wave of the internet. It's no longer about computers talking to each other. It's about computers transacting with each other. And they're going to do that in the form of digital tokens. Computers are not going to contact your bank to make payments to another computer. They're going to find direct means through tokenized units of value to pay for things, whether those are stable coins, which are basically tokens pegged to the dollar, or other forms of digitized value tokens. That's the future of the 21st century.
They're going to be paying each other in crypto. You are holding the robot money. You're already invested in the fourth and fifth industrial revolution at the same time as a crypto investor. The Internet of Value is absolutely coming, and XRP is positioned perfectly for it. Now, let's talk about XRP's price action today. XRP is holding steady near $2.63, though the price has dropped since our earlier discussion. Traders are watching that key $2.80 resistance zone closely. That's going to be our major resistance level. If we break through that, we're heading straight for above $3. Let's see how that news goes between the US and China today. If that news turns out bullish, I'm expecting the entire crypto market to rebound strong. Now, are we going to go lower before we go higher? There's definitely a possibility of that happening. But here's what I love about the current market. As fast as you watch a dip happen now, that rebound happens just as quickly with XRP. It's nothing like back in 2022, when if XRP dipped by 5 cents, it took 2 whole weeks to make up that 5 cents. Those painful days are completely gone. XRP moves by 5, 10, even 20 cents at a time now. We're in a much different era of crypto, and that's exactly why I always laugh when people say it's so boring holding XRP. Boring?
Holding XRP was boring during those dark times back in the bear market. Watching flat lines, watching minimal movement, very little upward momentum. I mean, it took months for XRP to move by 10 cents back then. Now it moves 10 cents in a single day. I look at where we are right now as being on the absolute verge of the exciting times. The exciting times are almost here. You just have to make it until XRP blasts off. And until that happens, stay patient, stay strong, and keep accumulating if you can. What do you think about these developments? Are you seeing the same patterns I'm seeing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if this analysis helped you out. Until next time, keep holding strong.